Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer coming to you in beautiful 1080p if you care to watch that. I got a new capture setup, so now I can capture in 1080p, which is pretty cool. Talking about the podcast. So tonight is the 100th episode of Painkiller already, which I don't know, it's kind of a big deal. Like there aren't many things in the COD community that have lasted this long. Like it's kind of this, staple, this thing that like everybody kind of knows about, and it's weird to me that I'm even a part of it, right? Like it seems like too big of a deal for me to be in, but whatever. Maybe that's all in my own head. So at first I wasn't going to be a part of the podcast. Like there was a podcast before us called Host Migration, and it had Hutch, C Nanners, and Trumpy. And that was like this big thing. It was this big event. I listened to all of them, usually when I traveled. And Wings was like, hey, we should do one too. Hey, we should do one too. And one, I was a little concerned about people fussing at us from being this, Me Too podcast, the follower. And two, I wasn't sure we were entertaining enough. I thought I was too boring and that nobody would want to hear us hang out and talk. So I told them no. Wings and Kyle wanted to do it, and I was like, no. I don't want to be a part of some losing effort. Forget it. And those two were, going to persevere. They pushed forward, and they decided to do it without me. And before the first episode, I was like, can I still get in on this? Did I close the door, or, would you like to have me on board? And they said, yeah, sure, door's still open. You can come play with us. So I did. And the first episode, of course, was just on iTunes. We didn't live stream it at the time. And that worked out pretty well. You never really could tell how many people listened to it on iTunes because the technology didn't seem to work right. But once it went on YouTube, you can. You can tell how many people are there in real time, and you can tell how many people are there afterwards. At first, it wasn't live streamed, as I was saying, it was just on iTunes. And then when we did start live streaming, there was nothing to see. Like it was just like a radio show almost. I think I put like my gamer tag or something. I have like a little logo on the screen, and there was nothing that you could see. And after a while, I added a webcam to it. And I think we were the first guys to do any of that, right? There were some other podcasts around, but we were the first to do them live, and we were the first to do it with any kind of video. And, we'll see where it evolves from there, but I hope that we can stay on the leading edge. The key to doing the podcast, to making it successful, is to stick with it. Like, you get better at putting on these shows as time goes on. And, most of the time people do it. They're really excited about it for the first 2-3 episodes, but then it goes 5 in, 10 in. All of a sudden you've been doing it for 2.5 months, and it's easy to kind of give up on it and, not have as much fun as you used to and quit. And it's hard to find 3 people or more who want to, show up every week, right? Every week there's something else you could be doing, right? You could be watching television, you could be having pizza with your friends, you could be doing something, but you kind of have to prioritize actually doing the show. And it's hard to find 3 guys who do that. It's easy to find people who say they'll do that, but it's hard to find people who actually do that. That's been my experience. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be reaching out to people who've been on the show a lot and see if they can make it. And maybe you guys can help me. I usually don't do this, put pressure on it. But the guys who've been on the show a bunch of times, like the Only Use Me Blades, the Rednecks, Merca Durker already agreed to be there. I'm thinking that we're going to cycle through guests and, do some epic moments or recaps or whatever. That's my objective here. I think it'd be really cool if we could have some of what I consider to be the legends of Painkiller already all cycle through. Do an hour with Blade, an hour with Scott Redneck, an hour with Merca, and maybe I'll even reach out to Dan and see if he wants to talk to us and tell us what's new in his life. And here it is. I've got all my specialist bonus. I'm ready to go and do my thing, and I'm hidden. And then this guy goes up and stands right next to me and just really? You're going to give away my position that you don't? So I run away. I run away and do the best I can. So anyway, PKA will be tonight. For me, it feels like there's a lot to live up to. I hope that the show, nothing can live up to the hype of, I guess, the 100th episode. But I'm going to do my best, and we're going to try and put on something pretty cool. So I hope to see you guys there. There'll be a link in the description. And Painkiller already, episode 100. Regardless of where it goes from here or what happens after that, there's that guy still standing there. I feel like PKA was something cool. And, at one time I was a part of it. So, anyway, I'll see you guys there tonight. Link in the description after I put up the stream.